programs right on YouTube. If you look in the comment section, down at the bottom in the comment section, and that dollar sign there, that's going to help you to contribute, especially if you live in North America and some other places. Locally, you gotta reach us in person, and perhaps LMG is also available. But good to have each and every one of you there. And Fordyce, Clear Alexis, Charlie Richmond is here with us as well, and Anna Gordon. Good to see you. I see so many folks joining us. Siobhan, Beatrice, good to have you folks with us this morning, wherever you're joining us from. Lots of information to share with you guys today, Thursday. We're in that Christmas season. I heard some carols play. What's happening at your end? How are you starting the season, my Lord? It is so, in some other places, you see the onset of Christmas. It is so romantic. I'm feeling the spirit. I'm feeling the spirit, folks, and I'm excited about this season. I trust that you guys are as well. Good to see John Sullivan and Terrence Beaton. Good to see Freyan Ross and Indrani Jaikaran. Good to see you. Each and every one of you. We're so privileged you guys are here. Unless you come, you early. We encourage you folks to share the live. Share the live. Smash that emoji button for us as well. It's going to help us along the way. Good to see Elizabeth Howard is here. And is it Nichelle Bruce? Or is it just Nichelle? Good to have you. Nonetheless, Out Front Parks is here too. And I see Angela Freeman and Kimberly Nelson, Horace Calder. Good to see you. Is it Amalila Dennis? Good to have you as well, folks. Don't let anybody steal your joy this morning. Some comments I'm not even seeing. Some things I'm going to ignore. I just want to stay in a place of peace today. If you want to be vexed with the world, you go right ahead and be great in your own way. But as for me and my house, we will stay on this side and just try to keep uplifted this morning. I ain't want no negativity around me today. Good folks, not today, devil. Good to see you folks, the other guys who are here with us, Cheryl Bascom Greenwich joining us out of Barbados. John Lester is here too, and Margaret Nelson, Vesta, Hardy Rajkumar is here too. Good folks like Vesta, Edward Gonzalez, and you must be sometimes quiet and conservative like Edward, and all the other guys who are joining us. Tessa, how you doing, Tessa Isaacs? Good to have you, Tessa. Michaela Andrews Coates. Good to have you, Michaela. All the other beautiful souls joining us around the world. We're so privileged on this Thursday, the 10th day of November already. And before I hop, skip, and a jump, it's going to be the 10th day of December, and we're moving on into 2023. Looking forward to all the challenges and the successes of the new year. Had a pretty good year, all things considered. Had a pretty good year. Still above ground, folks. That in itself is lots to be thankful for. Still above ground. Good to have you, beautiful, wonderful folks with us. Glenda Britton, good to have you, and Brenda. I see Vesta, Dolly Anderson Linton, Margaret Nelson. Such beautiful people. We're so privileged to be able to spend our mornings with you. Mornings with Brenda, mornings with Debbie, mornings with Louisa, morning with Isine Kosha. Yeah. Good times, good. Good times, folks. Good time indeed. Good to have each and every one of you. What's for breakfast? Folks? But we're going to have a cup of tea somewhere in between. We are going to have ourselves a cup of tea. But good to see Kimberly Nicholson. Good to see Selena Fraser and all the other beautiful, wonderful folks joining us. Good to see you. Yep. Selena, good to see you, Selena, out of Canada. Really good to have you here. And Lyndon Jones and all the other wonderful folks. Really, really good to have you. It's our privilege to be here with you folks. Good to have you. We're going to be talking some things about the COI this morning. Very interesting. I think the longer the COI rambles on and rumbles on. Yeah. Interesting information emanating from the COI. See a couple misleading headlines too. I see Irfan coming out to bat for Sonia Parag, the Photoshop lady. Yeah, interesting times, saying that our member of parliament, Vince Roy Jordan, trying to block Minister Parag from entering some building. Well, evidence to the contrary. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that too. And we should have Vince Roy with us in our podcast today. I think if he's not on this program, he's on the podcast today. Well, he's on one of the programs. That's what we know. So if we don't catch him here, folks, we're going to catch him later on. Yeah, interesting. Lots and lots of interesting things. Quite interesting. But good to see You good folks, I see Jamor Marcus and Charles Duncan joining us. Family. Good to have you. I see one Mr. McKen joining us too. No, Marlon, Mr. McKen. Marlon McKen joining us. Orindon Cook, morning Marlon, and Granite Anderson, all you beautiful, wonderful folks. Ensure you share the live. Take a second as we warm up, as we come into your homes, we come in your smartphone, your tablets, wherever we're joining you from. Take a minute and share that live. Retweet if you're on Twitter. Some of you joining us on LinkedIn. Majority of you on the Blue app, Meta, the Fast app, the Fast people. Yeah, same set. And lots of folks joining us on YouTube. The tubers like Sheila Boychild joining us on YouTube. Delon Frank, good to see you. Stanboard, Orwin Don Cook. And folks, I'm going to step back a little bit. We're just going to come. You know how we do it. The old 1-2, ropey dope. The 1-2 punch. Right? I'm going to step back in a couple of minutes. We're just going to come, take you through the paces. What's happening in the morning papers. And I'm going to come back. I can just throw myself in at the other side and we talk what's happening internationally, what's happening locally. And then, folks, we can circle around to the big issue. I see some food just come into the studio, so I done distracted already. Right? I done distracted. Bert Jones is here. Good to see Bert, and Young Finance is here too. Good to see everybody outside this morning. Lovely. Nothing like to see a family moving together. All the Finance here. Good to Fidel Innis, I see you as well, Fidel. Great to have you. And is it, oh my Lord, look at these long names now. Kodawashi, right? It's Kodawashi Braffett. These long names, That's Braffett. Yeah. Michaela and all the other guys. Guys, such a day's off the fantastic side. As I said, some comments I see, but I ain't even seeing them. Staying in a place of peace, a pyramid of peace this morning and tranquility. Good to have you folks with us. We ain't let anybody stress. I don't take stress on people and start looking haggard like if you see a lot of night dew. Y'all can take stress. Don't take stress on people, folks. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Don't let anybody steal it. Especially the trench crappos. Yep. Orin Don Cook said, yes, I food in. Yeah, we hope you enjoy that breakfast there. Let us know what you have for breakfast. How is the weather where you folks are? We trust it is well. And even if, folks, it's snowing 0-, we hope that you make it well. It's what now happening outside, it's inside. It's never happened to you. It's how you react to it. It's true. Very, very true. It's not what people say about you. It's how you respond to that. Right? It's how you respond. So don't people come wrong, you funny. Margaret doesn't say flip the script. Flip them and the script. Margaret says flip the script. Flip them and the script. That's how we're going to do it. Yolanda Thomas is here. Out front parts is here as well. Crystal Brandt Richards. Respect and manners, Crystal. Respect and manners. A fantastic sociologist. Crystal Brandt Richards there in the diaspora doing her thing. Fantastic singer as well, and overall musician and artist. Fantastic. Folks, she promised she's going to do a song for us at some point. Did she promise? At least she said something to that effect. And we hope that she comes through at some point and let you hear the beautiful voice that she has. Lovely, good to see you as well. And Jacqueline Fordyce, all the other folks joining us in the diaspora. Anthony Jarvis coming through from YouTube. Good to see you, beautiful folks. Don't let anybody steal your joy this morning. I know Crystal ain't gonna let anybody steal your joy. That's the kind of person she'll fight them. In the name of the Father. Yep, don't let anybody steal your joy. Thomas. I want to be like you all. 2 first name or 2 last name. Thomas says, Rain in Buxton. Yep. Isn't there a song like that? Rainy night in Georgetown. Oh, it's Georgia. Yep, one to the two. They say a toss-up in Georgia, they're telling us. Politically, say a toss-up, too close to call. Have they called it since you were in there? Let us know, folks. Yep. Judy Margaret says she's hearing you, but she ain't seeing you. It's hard you're breathing at the back there. So hard. Yeah, Judy brought some apples today to keep the doctor away. Yeah.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yolanda Thomas is here as well, Ingrid Crawford. Good to see Sheila Boychild. I am Natasha Congress. She's in the future already. She's about 5 hours ahead of us.
I'm coming.
Ayabu's already in the future.
She's
already seen what will happen this afternoon. She's already done that. Already. Sheila Boychild is here. And he says, Lady J, good morning. He even see me,
Good morning.
He even see me yet.
Sheila Boychild.
Ayabu says it's cloudy in Sheffield. Good to see you, Ayabu. Yeah, and don't let the cloudiness hold back your joy. Then you're going to exude like razor light this morning. Good to see you, Skimmy, Skimmy Yan, Skimmy Yanita. Yeah, my lord.
I like that name.
Skimmy Yamita Budu. It's up there, it goes on.
Oh, sorry.
Skimmy Yamita Budu. Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah, you see that half always calling the name though. Skimmy Yamita Budu says more. Good morning to you as well. Facebook user says it's 71 degrees in Florida and it's raining heavily also. My. At least in Florida. unlike some of us. Yep. And Skimmy Yanita Budu says it's cloudy in Wales. Is this Wales as in the real Wales, as in topside, or is Wales over the bridge? Please let us know. Down Cook, good to see you. Crystal, Simon, good to have you here, Crystal. Really great to have you. Folks, share that live stream for us. Smash that emoji button for us as we seek to bring you credible, valid information. I get animated today. An election this morning. I know. I could feel it. Carol Rollins, good to see you, Carol. Yeah. And Mary says they're bracing for a storm. Florida on the hurricane watch. My. And all that happening in the world, folks. You see, it really goes to what's happening on the inside. Because a storm could be operating around, but you say, hey, you got your sails set to true north. You got time right now left. True north, where your sails set to. And that is that. Good to have you, Jacqueline School, and all the other folks. Rena Cummins joining us from right on the East Bank. Beautiful Peters Hall on the East Bank. Peters Hall, Providence on the East Bank. Good to have you. Rowena, Candelian, just it now reach. Oh, Scraps, you come, girl, you come. How's breakfast at your end? How's breakfast in Skeldon, Craverton? Rita's going to come and I'm going to go and I'm going to come back with you. Look, story, things come. Things come. The full meat. Pelty with apple now, you see story? You know, listen, them whoops, apple hit your AHS. You see that? You don't even know. Apple AHS. Apple AHS today keeps the doctor rich. Rita's going to come. The guys are going to help us. I'll be back, folks. I'll be back. And it's the anniversary month. I want you all to know that. Rena Williams, it's the anniversary month. It's our anniversary month, folks. So please, partner with us so we can keep on keeping on. We are available via Zelle and PayPal, Cash App, MMG, MoneyGram, Western Union. We don't send in the back of the Ocean's Way. It's all for your convenience only. It's just for your convenience. Thank you for the apples, Rita.
I almost said fruit sharing out.
Goes towards making our program.
Yes, fruit sharing out. What would we do without fruit?
Yeah.
They said an apple a day keeps the doctor away. How true that is, I'm yet to find out and figure out. I don't think so. I don't know what's going to happen to people who don't have apples, don't have the luxury of having apples. I guess the doctor's not going to be kept away at their end, What's going on, guys? Good morning to you, Candy Nalini Inderjit. It says, I'm shared having my coffee without sugar. Candy doing it different this morning. Good morning to you, wonderful, wonderful folks. I saw the name. I'm seeing the name. I'm Shara there. Guys, you see how my hair is this morning? It's like, I don't know what's going on with it, but it's going to be just leave it like that. Let me just say, let us leave the hair the way it is right now. It's going to manage itself a bit later on in the day. Hopefully, I'm being very hopeful right now that this hair is going to come through for me. What's going on at your end? I hope all is well at your end, each and every one of you there this morning. Today is my daughter Francine's birthday and also Quinn birthday too. Yeah, I'm going to be touching in with those folks. I definitely will. And I have to say that a happy birthday to your daughter. I hope all is well at your end. I hope that she's going to have a fantastic, fantastic day. Good afternoon, Ayabo. I see you there. Joy Pamela says what? It's just bleaky. Did I miss that? Okay, it's just bleaky at my end. That's a good weather for me. Excellent weather for me. I see Yolanda Thomas said it's fine. You're always looking beautiful. Listen, my hair is next level today. Like when I came on, so I'm like, oh, I should have combed my hair. That's it this morning. Good morning to you, Gwyneth Anderson. I hope all is well at your end. I see Dawn Cook is on with us this morning. What's going on there on the west side, Dawn? I hope all is well. What's going on with the traffic? Let me know what's going on there. I know a lot happening. Stan Bourne is here with us. Says, boom. Hey, Stan, you always blowing up something, boy, every single morning. You're out and about doing the most when it comes to those bits and pieces. I hope that, guys, I hope that this week have been productive for you thus far. Today it's Thursday, but we just have one more day in the week, and I hope that you are utilizing these two final working days of the week very productively. I want to say that it has been quite a challenge. A lot of persons have been complaining that that's actually going out to try to do some bits and pieces of early shopping. The early shopping is not happening. I know the business people particularly have been complaining because a lot of persons stock up on things that's actually not getting sold right now. You know why. You understand why that is happening right now, guys. So let me know if you're doing some shopping. Let me know if you find any cheap store. If you found a cheap store to buy things like curtains and all those Christmas things that people usually stock up on, drop that store name in the comment section. Let people know where to go. You can't just be keeping information to yourself and hiding right there. I see Vesta Hardy Rajkumar is on with us this morning. Says, blessed morning, Jaretta. Blessed day to your daughter. There, where is Okay, good morning, guys. Good morning again. I am being a little bit, I am seeing a little bit of distraction at my end, but we're good to go. We're good to go. Vashti Magnat, hey Vashti, what's going on, girl? I hope all is well at your end. I see Jamor Marcus here with us also. Good morning to you, Jamor. I hope all is well with you, wonderful, wonderful folks. Guys, I've seen is it SBC navigating traffic? There says Sheila's boy child. Break that down for me a little bit more. Need a little bit more clarity. Happy birthday to your daughter. Jacqueline is saying to your daughter Beatrice there, happy birthday, guys. I hope that your daughter is having a phenomenal day, Beatrice. I know Beatrice is gonna be throwing it down for her. I see Leslie Charles is on with us this morning. Send blessed good morning, hosting our followers. Good morning to all of you. Have you been doing your job? Are you sharing the stream? Let me just get right to that. Are you sharing the stream, guys? Like, have you done that? I hope all of you have actually clicked that share. I know a lot of you are very, very diligent with your shares, and you're actually clicking share, share, share as you go, as soon as you get on. But some of you, some of you got to give you a reminder. So for those folks who need a little bit of a reminder every now and again, make sure that you click that share, make sure that you add that emoji, make sure that you comment so that we can understand what is going on at your end. Yes, Joy Hopkinson said already did. You know, Joy, move to the front of the class, give some extra lessons to some folks at the back. I see Joy Pamela is saying, my daughter directed, you did not put on your ribbon today. You are not going to school today. I don't know where that comment came from. Like, I'm a little bit confused by that, Joy. Help me out a little bit there, please. Good morning to you, Michaela Andrews, Courts. Like, it's a long name. Coates. Michaela Andrews Coates. And then it says Andrews Coates again. I nevertheless already shared. Gwyneth Anderson already shared. All of you folks has already shared. Good, good, good. I came late. I'm a little bit hot. I don't know. I'm a little hot. You know how I am. As soon as a place gets a little bit hot, it all comes to me. Cheryl Basticum, Greenwich, good morning to you. I hope all is well at your end. It's Beatrice's daughter's birthday, guys. Beatrice's daughter's birthday. Let me just say that. Okay. Rowena Cummins says Guyanese need to save their money and use let me just get that back. Guyanese need to save their money, use back what they have. Things are very tight. Do not spend extra, basically. I understand that. I know a lot of persons are actually going to do that. Use back what you have in terms of curtains and those things, because you know Guyanese like to change those things during the Christmas season. But if persons don't have money, like what people are saying right now, most definitely a lot of persons will not be able to actually go and do that this year. So we understand, like, and I support that. If you don't have extra cash, guys, like the majority of persons, don't go out spending what you don't have. Don't go digging yourself in a deeper financial hole as it is right now. Thank you so much. Don Cox has already shared. Absolutely correct, Facebook user. I'm seeing all of you guys there. Guys, a lot has been said out there. I'm going through the news. Sometimes I want to know some people are living in a different Guyana to the Guyana that I'm living in, you know, but as I go through the news, that's what I believe from time to time. One of the first things that I actually want to look at on the morning papers, as we just rush right into that bit of news this morning. In the morning papers, the first thing that we're going to be looking at is the headline there. And when I read this headline for you, let's just do this morning. When I read this headline for you, you're going to tell me which newspaper I'm pulling this headline from when I read it. Game over for racism as political weapon, says President Ali. I'm going to read that again. Game over for racism as political weapon, says President Ali. Which newspaper am I reading that from? Let me see how sharp you guys are with these things. Game over for racism as political weapon, says President Ali. I'm going to be touching in the comment section now to see if you guys are going to be getting it right. Rowena and you folks, come on. Gwyneth Anderson, Chronicle. Gwyneth. Let me see some more comments coming in there. Gwyneth Anderson says Chronicle. Yolanda Thomas says Chronicle. And this is what really Brenda Moore, the Chronicle. Absolutely correct, guys. That's again a Chronicle headline. And it says a lot when I can just read a headline and you don't even have to second guess. You know immediately where that headline is coming from. That's what's going on right now. Everyone knows that this is the Guyana Chronicle. I see Lyndon Jones is saying the Guyana Chronicle, Trevor McDonald, Sheila Boycha. I see everyone. Everyone knows that a headline like that would only be coming from one newspaper because of how it is packaged, and more importantly, because it speaks against against the reality that we're experiencing right about now in the country. So it is what it is. Let us go through this. As it's suggesting there right about now, guys, some way, shape, or form, Irfan Ali, as the president, sitting in the seat of president of the country, is saying that it's game over for racism as a political weapon. I don't know if you read the Guyana Chronicle yesterday, because the Guyana Chronicle, the very same Guyana Chronicle yesterday, was reporting that the squatters in Charity is actually going to give in titles to the lands that they occupy. I don't know if he's been reading the news prior, but because the news prior says that the squatters in Linden, that the administration, the PPP administration, sent persons there to bulldoze their homes to the ground, right? I don't know how are we supposed to be interpreting those actions. I don't know how he sees it. I don't know which parallel universe he's existing in, but the Guyana that we live in sees the PPP utilizing racism and racial division, particularly when it comes to the boundaries that separates us as a country and particular groupings of ethnicities. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. We know what is going on, and I have to say that Irfan Ali and nobody in his administration can ever come and speak towards the matter of race. They have done absolutely nothing to curb the issue that we have right about now. Social cohesion, they cannot speak to. The only government that actually put work into social cohesion was the APNU AFC administration. That government actually had a ministry of social cohesion because there were efforts being put to make sure that there was work in that direction. When the people got back into power, they actually just dismantled all of that. They have no interest in social cohesion when it comes to racial division in terms of politics. That's how they uphold everything within their party. Let me just say this. You do not get to come and say game over for racism as political weapon when you are plunging billions of dollars into Gaisuku, a failed project, a failed industry, something that is completely dead. You don't get to say that because that is the PPP administration doing exactly what Irfan Ali is saying that they're not going to be doing. So probably he's right. Probably it's going to be very much of these words, hopefully, let me just say it like that. These words, hopefully, is going to fall back onto him and his administration, because definitely needs to be game over for the PPP for racism, for using racism as a political weapon, particularly when it comes to the way in which they deal with policy and policy formation and all of those things. It's absolutely crazy. We do not condone it any point in time, guys, and we need to continue to speak up about all of those things. I see Don Sullivan is saying bring back the social cohesion ministry, and I guess that a lot of persons would love for that to happen, but as it is right about now, there has been no efforts by the PPP administration to work towards any aspect of social cohesion. Every bit of policy that they have put forward, I know these are the times that I want to see these are the times that I want to see all of the PPP supporters, particularly those trolls and so, come online and say, point to an initiative, point to a policy measure that the PPP actually did, so that that you're going to say, well, this was aimed at bringing unity to Guyanese. Like this is something that they did. If you can point to just one project, let me see which one project that they actually undertook that is going to be aimed at bringing unity to Guyanese. There isn't any in my assessment. I haven't seen any as yet. So let us know. Let us know what is going on there. I see Glenford Gordon said the installed PP government is a disgrace. You know, it's very disgraceful. But I keep telling you, and hear me out, guys. When it comes to the way in which people think, there is a lot of psychology that goes into, if you repeat something over and over, you keep repeating a narrative over and over, then eventually people are going to believe it to be true. And that's what the PPP is working at. The PPP believe that if they repeat one Guyana, one Guyana, one Guyana, one Guyana, that it's going to be instilled in person's mind as true and correct. They also believe that if they speak words like these, and if they use words like these, a game over for persons using racism as a political weapon, then persons are going to say, oh, these persons are against it. The PP seems to be against it with these headlines. But then you have to examine the reality. And that's why it's important for people to continue to speak out on these matters. It's important for persons to be bringing those bits and pieces of information, because it is the contrary when you look at the reality on the ground. The reality on the ground is contrary to all the headlines that you're going to read in the Guyana Chronicle. The Guyana Chronicle is doing, I was going to say piss poor job, but I just said it, so whatever. They are doing a horrible job, right? For need of a better terminology right now. They're doing an absolutely horrible job at convincing people that the PPP administration is actually against racism, and they're not divisive, and they're not doing the worst to persons that they believe did not support them. They're not doing a good job of doing those work. And that's why you see persons like the ministers, several ministers of the PPP having a show of their own. They're not in opposition, you know, they're in government. They have government media. They have the Chronicle, they have NCN, they have DPI, all of those bodies using taxpayers' dollars to actually go out there and report what is going on in government. But they have been failing. Those bodies have been failing so desperately to convince Guyanese that what they're doing is correct, that we see them sending out those ministers now to actually go out and have shows and so forth to try to get a different messaging across that Chronicle obviously can't get across, that NCN obviously can't get across, and DPI. And if you go on those pages, guys, you will see the comments. Guyanese are sharp, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you, but there's no amount of headlines that you can speak to when it comes to utilizing racism as a political weapon that a PPP can stand on any platform and say that, oh, they're condemning this and that, when they are the chief cook and bottle washer when it comes to using political weapon, when it comes to actually weaponizing racism in politics generally. That's a PPP. There is nobody that I have seen ever in the world that does it better than them. That's how I see it. Guys, as we move forward, as the PPP says that, as the administration say that, another headline that we're following this morning is Guyana needs to fast-track inclusion and sustainable economic growth for all. Guyana needs to fast-track inclusion and sustainable economic growth for all. All right. This did not come from the Guyana Chronicle, obviously. Guyana Chronicle does not report like this. The Guyana Chronicle don't see these news. They are blinded to these news. They have blinders on that they cannot ever imagine that somewhere, somehow, the U.S. ambassador and the U.S. altogether is going to be pushing a narrative that says Guyana needs to fast-track inclusion. What is inclusion? What does this inclusion actually entail? An economic growth for all. You know, these words are self-explanatory. When you say Guyana needs to fast-track inclusion and sustainable economic growth for all, it simply means that the current administration is not fast-tracking inclusion, and they're not giving a sustainable economic growth for all. That's what it means. If they were doing it, they would have said, the U.S. would have been saying, you know, congratulations to the ALDE administration, that they've been doing an excellent job in fast-tracking economic growth for all and making sure that that there's inclusion in every aspect of their policy development and the framework that they utilize and all of those things, but it's going contrary to that. And there's an acknowledgement. You cannot believe as a PPP representative that by merely saying everything is good and in order and it's fine and people are happy, then that automatically means that everything is good and everything is okay and everything is fine. It doesn't work like that. I'm waiting patiently to see all the headlines that's going to be coming out and the corruption that has been identified in the Auditor General's report from the Guyana Chronicle, because I know the Chronicle probably don't even look at the AG report if it's not the years that fall under the APNU AFC administration. But guess what? The 2021 report is out, guys, and everything that we're talking about and all the headlines that we're including in the conversations on a daily basis is the evidence is now there to substantiate what we've been saying all along. But Ali needs to be reading this. So anyone that has contact with him, just make sure that you send through. You know they don't have contact with the opposition. So make sure that you send through those bits and pieces of headlines so he can read it. That Guyana needs to fast track inclusion, sustainable economic growth for all. That's what we need. And that's what we've been saying. We're saying it's not okay to go to Region 2 and to promise and to pledge land titles to the squatters, they're a charity, and then you go to Region 10 and bulldoze the squatters' homes to the ground. That is not inclusion. That is not sustainable economic growth for all. That is the most discriminatory manner that you can do anything as a government. It is the most inhumane thing that can be done, and that's what we're seeing PPP administration practicing. So I hold no apology for that. I see Roxanne Garway coming through. I have to give her a shout out right now. Good morning to you, Roxanne. I know you're joining us all the way from Bartik and Glenford. Gordon says, Irvin, Ollie, don't. Oh, gosh. Man, Glenford, don't go so low, man. But you never know. I see Don Cook is saying, my 20-year-old granddaughter could do a better job. I'm seeing so much comments coming out there right about now. Shirley Crichton, what's going on, Shirley is absolutely correct, Guyana, when it comes to corruption, I think the PPP administration just puts the icing on the cake altogether. Corruption. I was looking at one particular matter, guys, and I'm just going to segue a little bit. Just permit me, if you will, to segue just for a few moments into what is going on right now in the country, and particularly something that has been identified in the Auditor General's report. You would hear, for anybody that joins, because as a member of the Public Accounts Committee, anybody that joins the conversation would understand that there are persons like Gail Teixeira and Edgil, Mr. Edgil, that is there. I'm just going to mention the two of their names because they just dominate when it comes to shouting about this and that, and they love the word corruption and theft and this and that. Well, I can't wait for us to start the 2021 report, and I can't wait to hear them say, oh my God, corruption and theft and skullduggery, right? I want to hear those words repeat itself, because guess what? The AG's report is out right now. And I've been going through, I've been sharing some bits and pieces with persons that has been identified out there. I'm going to get to some heavy stuff a little later on. But one of the things I want to mention, I see some folks joining us from region number 9, and I didn't want to not mention this morning since you guys are on. So in the AG's report, guys, believe it or not, it says, as it relates to awarding of contracts, the Regional Democratic Council awarded 8 contracts totaling $106,830,000 to a contractor who is currently blacklisted up to the year 2030 by the Public Procurement Commission of Guyana. PPP. People's Progressive Party in government, 2021. You understand what's going on? These are the people that want to lecture us about good governance. These are the people that want to lecture us. Could you believe that? This is Region 9 people. And I always say that when you go out into the hinterland communities, you'll be surprised at the amount of madness that goes on in those areas. I saw some folks from Region 9 is on this right now, and I have to say kudos to them for the information that they have been sharing. It's a lot for persons to digest. People are doing the most right about now, and the RDC at Region number 9 actually awarded contracts, not just one, folks, not just one contract. They actually awarded 8 contracts, over $100 million in total, to a contractor that was blacklisted by the Public Procurement Commission. You understand why these people didn't even want the Public Procurement Commission up and running, and why they were dragging their feet with actually putting it together all the time. You understand that? And then they want to come and pretend that it's all good.
You're venting, Judy.
I'm venting. I'm very upset right now this morning.
You're venting.
100 and something million shared. You could get blacklisted by the Public Procurement Commission, and you could go back to them boys and collect over $100 million in contract.
Me?
I say you like you, right?
Blacklisted from the National Assembly.
And then they're cutting off members of Parliament salary from the National Assembly. That's a good comparison, Sharon. Whilst these people are giving over $100 million in contract to blacklisted contractors, you know?
Believe it or not.
The members of Parliament cannot even, they stop the salaries for elected representatives in the National Assembly.
That's how it is.
And then Ali wants to go and talk about using racism as a political weapon.
Yeah. That's how things are done on that side.
I'm done venting.
Fortunately, that's how things are done.
I'm not done, you know, but you have to stop me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, goodness.
Get out of the system.
It's getting out of my system. But it goes right, and this goes right into the next headline, what we're talking about, because it says extremely favorable terms, you know, allowing Exxon to ramp up production in Guyana, right? And when you read that, you know what it means. If you're ramping up production, more money is going to be coming to the country. But then when you see the level of corruption in the country, you understand that the ordinary Guyanese and the citizens generally will not be able to benefit from these resources. So it's like, what's the point in Exxon ramping up production if the PP administration is ramping up corruption? Like, who's actually going to benefit from the resources if these are the two spectrums that we're operating on?
So much corruption, and boys building a new boat now. So much oil being ramped up, rather. You know, oil production being ramped up. Them boys building a new boat. Yeah. Just to award a contract to a Dutch company. Yeah.
Yes.
Good times indeed, folks. Good times indeed. So much production. Right? But I want us to feel it in our pockets. You know, you were talking about the disparity of who got and who got, who been given and who not been given. All of us, we got enough. It's just a wickedness on the part of the government, you know, channeled through racism channeling wickedness. I don't know how it goes.
Who channeling what?
Yeah. It's just a kind of wickedness that we got to overcome. That is what we got to. That's what we got to kill.
When the audit office told the accounting officers, brought the matter to the accounting officers about 8 contracts over $106 million being given to a blacklisted contractor, the head of the budgeting agency, they're going to investigate the matter.
Wow.
The head of the budgeting agency, for those of you who don't know, is actually the REO when it comes to the regions. That's the REO.
Yeah, interesting.
Region 9 REO.
And they're giving the contracts to the people. Now they're going to investigate. So there's no due diligence.
You would think these people don't know.
Yeah, fancy words, due diligence. Interesting.
Oh, good Lord.
Moving along, folks. Moving along before the time goes at us.
The time is already going on us, you know.
Yeah, moving along. What else we have, Julia?
All right, so it says quarantine cattle farmer beaten by cow thieves.
Yeah.
You could imagine.
Yeah. Things rough in this country.
No, but
rough.
But listen, let us look at a comparison.
See how you know.
Sharon, you have to look at the comparison. The last headline I just went through is Exxon, extremely favorable terms and allowing Exxon to ramp up production in Guyana. Exxon ramping up production, more money. And then you come down to the bottom there. Quarantine cattle farmer beaten by cow thieves. Same country, you know, it's the same country.
Things rough on the ground. There's a perception and there's reality. And that's what some of what we're going to talk about this morning. There's a perception, right? Or the perception that they want to create. The PPP, the People's Progressive Party Civic. The perception they want to create. And then there is the reality of what obtains. Yes. It's two things that are at variance.
Let's go into the morning brew.
Some stuff brewing international, folks, we think you guys ought to know about. A lot of stuff for that matter. Brewing international, you know, the US elections is kind of sucking up all the air out of the room where news is concerned internationally. But that being said, some stuff happening there. The House, they say, in terms of elective representative, is a little too close to call, right? Right? But it looks as though it's going to be Republican control, which means a lot of Biden's agenda is going to be stopped, just for the sake of stopping it. And then the Senate looks still up for grabs, which means it looks like the Democrats are going to eke out a majority in the Senate. Could be. But again, this is not the decisive when the Republicans were looking for. Remember that red wave? They say red wave.
They thought it.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw this coming around this year. My political colleague actually won the election there in New York. He contested for the 21st district. And
Nice.
Kevin Parker, Senator Kevin Parker. So
Okay.
congratulations to him.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it last night, so
Yeah.
I had to give him a quick call.
Yeah, respect him, man.
Congratulations.
Respect him, man. So there's that. The dust is now settling there where this election is concerned. You might have some litigation too, but folks are watching. Now, Georgia is another place that people are watching very, very closely. It's a very thin race there. Has it been called, guys? Those of you in Georgia,
I'm not sure.
has it been called? Do let us know if it's been called. So we're watching that, and we got some other stuff too brewing. Some other stuff.
Yes.
Right? So
Let's
some
move
brewing.
forward as fast
Believe it or not, some other
as
stuff
fast
doing
as we can.
internationally. This was analysis that's being done by Reuters, and it shows that abortion and Trump, right, dash the hopes of this red wave we're talking about. Right? His involvement in electoral. Trump is such a divisive figure. People don't really want Trump, And I was reading something this morning that says that there was a Republican in Georgia who said that it's time we put Trump in the rearview mirror.
Yeah. Finally.
Right? Yeah, he has not been good to the Republicans in this election at all, and they believe largely he's responsible for the losses. I think we had this thing. Biden got some challenges and so on. Biden says he's running in the next election for a second term too. So there is that. Trump coming up with some announcement next week.
I don't know what's his announcement.
Biden and waiting. Say I run in. So you try with that. So it's a delicate balance.
But when they talk about the abortion, for persons that can't remember, particularly this was the overturning of the Roe versus Wade.
Correct.
And that piece of legislation there that gave women the right over choice, pro-choice.
Yeah.
And so the actual Republican judges actually went out and did their own bits and pieces there, and the whole thing got all messed up and confused. And now that different states have different laws based on a whole lot of different things, so that this was a big one. I think that was huge because the whole debate with pro-choice versus pro-life was brought back to the front, and I saw this being very detrimental, particularly in the U.S. That is always more pro-choice for every single thing. So if you go there, persons just assume where you're going next.
Yeah.
Right. And there's the other big issue, particularly when it comes to gender and identity and stuff like that. Persons are fear that he's going to go in that direction after they're finished with abortion and all of that. So that's a huge conversation altogether.
Correct is right. Correct is right. So so much on that front. Regionally, folks, a couple of things brewing as well. What's brewing here? How come? There's some things brewing in the regional cup.
The regional cup says she said yes.
So I thought this one will appeal to you.
Really?
Because this guy got the hots for this girl.
That's really hot. You're
He's
gonna
got the hots for this girl.
He proposed to the girlfriend on top of the volcano.
Yeah.
And saying that's having the hots.
Yeah, he has the hots for her. He proposed. They're vloggers. They travel different countries and let us know how they're doing and what's happening and what's the latest in those places. Tourism-wise, they were in St. Kitts. St. Kitts is a beautiful place. Right? Same except the airport. But it's a beautiful country.
Sure, that's not like the St. Kitts airport.
Beautiful
I don't know why.
country. I remember we were driving, going into an area they call Tabo, but it's Tabernacle. That's the name of the place. But they call it Tabo for short. And the drive into Tabo was spectacular with scenery. It's a long drive along the coastline. And you have this meandering road through the mountains and so on. Tremendously beautiful. Do you just want a hammock, a book, some shade, and that's it,
I don't think I like nature to that point.
That is it.
To that point of the proposal on top of the volcano.
And you see that sweeping blue sea, and that lush green to one side. and it has like its own ecosystem. The moisture in the air is just beautiful. I can understand why the fella, right? I said it, I said the volcano, but I can understand that too. You got the hots for her, so what better place on a volcano? Laying it all beer.
I'm thinking that there's several other places that could probably
you
be
can't like the
warm
God, but
and
you're feeling on a volcano. Let it open at any moment and swallow you. Right? On a volcano, I said that might appeal to you.
No, not a volcano.
Any volcano.
For a proposal or something, but not the volcano setting.
I can
Not a volcano setting.
Bring the back up for us. I can see folks saying, "Is an all this bush you bring me?" I see some guy in these women saying, "Is it in all this bush?"
Probably that's it.
Bring me all this bush here with these mosquitoes and so on. Look at that blue sea at the back there. It is.
I'm sure that they can't see that blue sea.
And believe me, but I have to see it before they go up. It's an island of course. So there's blue sea all around, and some parts of St. Kitts, I think you can look over and see Martinique. It's a truly beautiful country, beautiful people. It's just the airport near the fixer up, and we're good to go.
I think I know the problem. Like I think I know it. Like no, not the airport.
I thought after Jagan International Building for so much years, you could identify the problem there.
No, not with the airport. Like I think what appeals to people, particular things that they're not used to. Like they're not from there, so like that appealed to them. Like that's level of nature and all of that. But for Guyanese, we know what bush all over.
The bush you carry me,
and it's not like
bring me for run bush.
A lot of those things. So probably more like I don't know, like night skyline.
You want to go to the concrete jungle?
No, it's not a concrete jungle per se, but like not some like.
Not bush.
I've had my entire life of nature, greenery.
Not bush.
I don't know. It's like
here's story. I don't know. Bush. The proposal, yes, but this bush story. We know so.
I different.
That's in Kitts and Nevis and those folks. How did you guys tie the knot? That's an interesting question. How did you guys, make a proposal? Some people skip the engagement
proposal and just do the wedding.
Yeah.
It's a conversation. We're gonna get married. It's a conversation.
I like you. You like me. Let me just.
Let's just go and sign this paper.
Yeah. No, this bush, basically. Straight to level 3. Straight to level 3. Yeah.
And some people have been engaged
when you've been
for
around
years.
the block. Yeah, when you've been around the block.
There's some people that have been engaged for years.
Yeah.
I'm not about that life either.
When you meet and you and it take long and next day no.
I don't want to.
Tie down one time.
I'm not gonna be engaged here. Like if we're gonna get engaged, right? For example, if I'm getting engaged, like let me tell you, at the engagement. After the engagement, you're supposed to already say, well, this is the wedding date. You set the wedding.
Yeah.
I don't want you ever engaged and sometime in the future you're going to get married. No,
10 years later.
Spare me that.
Yeah, that's an indication to the world. I've spoken
with
with this young lady. She's off limits.
Yeah, why are you putting me off limits if you're not setting a date?
Yeah. Hope you're hearing. Hint to Bathsheba. All right.
Just saying, I just think that.
Hope you're hearing.
Congratulations to the young couple. I hope that their date is set.
This message is for. I hope they'll hear it.
I hope their date is set and they're not going to be a couple
relevant personnel who this message is directed to. I hope they'll hear it. Propose because I have a date in mind one time.
Oh, good
right?
Lord.
592, folks. Win the 592.
Let us go.
Win the 592.
For you, Sharon. Let's start.
Julian Elliott says our bushes are unique to our country.
Yes.
That's the wealth beyond compare. The green green carpet is awesome. Yeah. What was the national song says?
I've had it.
Yeah. The velvet floor.
I've had it. I've had it all my life.
Shimmering clouds.
Give me a change. Give me a change for anything.
Yeah. We're the 592, folks. We're the 592. Well, there's this I don't even call it allegation. Misinformation. That's a better term for it. Misinformation going around there. Our colleague Vincent Jordan blocked Sonia Parag from entering a community center in Belladrum. Right?
Vincent Garland Powers?
It's the same place that carry one cow. This administration, how disrespectful for Belladrum farmers. One cow, What? One cow. I had a black cat myself, even if he didn't black cat. I would black them. Right? Vince Wright didn't black them. I would black them. One cow you bring in here. Right? But this is misinformation. This is the people that like cry wolf. And you see, what's happening here is a setup that's
Yeah.
happening here. They are doing very bad with women, the perception how they treat women and so on.
Yeah.
Right? And so they want to latch on to this story. Look what Vince Roy doing with girl. Right? This woman,
Yeah.
Sonia Parag. Right? Look what he's doing here. That's the motive. Vince Roy never blocked no place. Right? And recently, Vince Roy gave a statement on this very issue, folks. Take a look and take a listen what our colleague Vince Roy Jordan said.
The Big Smith article that claimed that Minister Parag, this is a headline, blocked by Member of Parliament from meeting Belladrum youths and discussing employment opportunities. And it stated that you said that we don't want development here, nor do we want your government here. What is your response to that?
Look, Randy, good evening. Thank you very much for the question. And let me from the outset let you know that the headline is malicious, it's mischievous. In nowhere or at no time the minister's visit was to meet youths in the community, neither was it at any time for the development of the youths within the community. The minister came to El Dorado Village, west coast of Berbice, this afternoon through her operatives in the neighboring community. And the minister came with one clear agenda. Her agenda was to take control of a community building that is located in El Dorado Village. And it is a former old market that the residents used in the late 1990s. That market was rehabilitated through self-help, food for the poor, and overseas donors to ensure the building that is sitting there today was realized. The residents in that community worked together with their foreign and governmental partners at that time, during the APNU AFC government, to ensure that the community had a building that could have served the needs of all the residents. I said that to say to you that the building is a multi-purpose community building. Now, the headline that the Big Smith News carried to say that the minister was blocked from development and from meeting youths. Let me clear it up very clearly. The minister came to take the building that was built by the residents and the building that serves the El Dorado community to hand it over to her PPP friends and cronies. One, the councillor on the Profit Rising Sun NDC, the minister wants to have him have an office in that building. Secondly, the minister wants a PPP operative to house his PPP business and office in that building. So I said to the minister very clearly, if you're coming here to do development for the residents, you must have a clear direction and a clear agenda for the residents. The minister then said to me, one resident called or raised the concern from when the president visited, and that is our reason for being there. So let me tell you how the president reached to Belladrum, or El Dorado as we know it. The president visited El Dorado about 3 weeks ago under very strange circumstances, of course. At 9:30 in the morning, the Member of Parliament for the People's Progressive Party Civic Corps.
Yep, and in our podcast at 12 o'clock, we're going to have MP Vince Roy Jordan join us, and we're going to wade more into that issue, folks.
Yeah.
But nothing could be 403. He blocked her from getting access to the building.
You know, let me tell you, Vince Roy is one of those MPs that's extremely sharp with what he's about, and he's I want to add by saying he's extremely respectful Also, he's not a disrespectful person or any of that. And when it comes to the way he treats women and all of that, he is exemplary when it comes to that. So nobody can try to shift nothing on him. When it comes to representation of the people, he has been doing his job. He has been on the ground. He has never not shown up for the people.
Yeah.
Right? And this is one example, like another example of him showing up for the people. You're not going to come to take control of something that the people has worked exceedingly hard to preserve, to make sure that it is where it is right now, and expect that he should just roll over and play dead and just watch it happen before his eyes. When the people that elected him to represent them are actually there and saying, this is what is going on. And he showed up and he represented. Right?
You know what I think is a good parallel. Your colleague, which island is it? Who used to be Minister of Education? I'm trying to remember which island is it? Anguilla? Is it Anguilla?
Yes, sir.
Her constituency were up in arms against a measure the government was implementing.
And
I can't remember what it was.
She was minister in government, and she's like, no, she can't agree.
And on behalf of her constituency, she resigned.
Yep.
Her constituency said, we don't like this, what the government is doing. That they voted in. They said, we don't like this measure. Something they were doing.
It was in relation to tax.
Yeah. And she resigned.
Yeah.
She resigned. She said, my constituency is not in agreement with this. I have to stand up. That's the point of what I mean.
Basically.
These are my constituents. They don't want XYZ. I got to stand up on their behalf. It's never whether the minister come or not. You have to open the door and say, look, the key minister.
Yeah.
Your constituency wants a certain course of action. Those are the people who elect you. Wasn't the PPP?
Yes, and where do you get, because I hear a lot of talks coming right about now, why is it at the point that she have a discussion moving forward with the community, with the elected representative? Vince Roy is there.
That is what they're
Why
doing.
you can't have a conversation with him?
That is what
you just want to go in a braggadocious way.
The NDC,
you know?
The NDC. Why can't you meet with them and say, this is what we want to do? But they circumvent everybody to come in, which is what they're doing in Macau. You circumvent the council, you go there, you abuse of the chairman, you abuse of this body, and say, we can work with the people. Right? And the money that you're supposed to give the council, you say, well, we give them because we do X and Y project. You didn't give the council, you went and do your own story, you're a frolic of your own. Right? And now everybody want to cry foul. But sit down there, structures. Why do we have these structures? They never like local government, never like it.
But the thing is, right, the people that will not be crying foul are the actual people that is being represented there. And those people are happy that they didn't wake up the next morning to the building being completely taken over by persons that have no business being there.
Yeah, that's probably Minister Pratt's first time in Belgium. I have no doubt. First time in Belgium, you come to take over. High-handed.
Yeah.
High-handed.
Change your approach.
Some other things brewing. I hope they jail more people like this here because Laldio, Jaglio, these people, these Jaglios, wow. Laldio, Jaglio, 15 years for raping a teenage boy. 15 years. I think it's too little. 15 years. I think on 3 occasions, the report tells us he raped this young man. Right? In 2019, I think it was. If so long ago.
It was back in 2019.
Yeah. Wickedness. Just big but nasty. A whole sort of nastiness spinning around in the mind. You look at them and say, hey, look like people. You don't know. But you got some reflecting the actions now. Reflecting his actions.
These issues of sexual assault, they're covered up a lot.
Yeah, they are.
In certain communities. The more remote the community is, the more the cover-up happens with these particular situations. And persons have to get to a point that they start speaking out. Like there are numerous other what's his name? Laldio, Jagdio. Yeah. There are numerous other Laldio, Jagdios out there.
Many.
So because of that, we have to be very, very be very careful who you leave your children in the care of and all of those things. That's just the most nastiest. 15 years.
Yeah.
But as jail you're going. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah. 15 years is a long time when you're being raped.
Yes.
That being said,
jail you're going.
suspected car thief now, Christopher Prasad.
You got the
You
wrong
know?
picture with Christopher, man.
Christopher was said,
Christopher had a photo of Sheridan with him in the back of a pickup, showing all sorts of symbols. I cannot remember.
bad boy carried jacker. And all this fame is up in the head, you know. Right? They said if he was found with the keys in his possession to this vehicle, you know. The keys.
Christopher's different. Listen, I don't know if I don't know how you see it and everybody else, but as I'm scrolling here, you know, I'm just bringing back up this picture with my boy.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a gun finger this young man was showing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it was. Sharon, you could do that sign?
Come. Let me show you, folks. We can do it we don't like to do it like this. We can do it very informal, so you can see that. See, bring it up close. That's Christopher there. Leave it. It's all right.
Christopher different. I don't do the same.
Hundred strap. Molly clearly done pop. Molly clearly done pop there. Folks, this country here, you see, people think you come into wealth and you only go up. And everything is nice and dandy. If you don't have correct systems in place, this country could explode, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
With all kinds of elements, especially when people see one set of people get in, say, I got to get.
Prior to 2015, guys, remember, I don't like to just, it's the truth, it's a fact. Prior to 2015, when it comes to car theft, it was out of control.
Yeah.
There was, during 2015 to 2020, apparently people that frightened for thief car.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and you saying car theft, I sure some people just seeing black people.
Right?
You know.
You know, Christopher didn't look black to me.
100 strap. Twitter, you know, I wish Christopher the best in his profession. If you're not good at it, you get to catch like this, you might have to change it. You might get some little indications like that. Right? Clearly, you're a car thief and you there out front. I want to go try a little bit. With the keys in your pocket, and it's not your vehicle. You know, you might got to change your profession. Right? Might got to change your profession.
I keep telling people, persons like Chris and all the other persons that go out there and do these type of crime, you know, there is a group of persons in Guyana right about now doing multi-billion-dollar heists.
Yeah.
Right. Those white-collar professionals doing multi-billion-dollar heists.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see them in the back of no police
No.
pickup, right?
How are you going to see them there?
The real gangsters in the society.
Fetching away.
Right?
Right?
They pass with sirens. Some of them pass with the police, you know, clearing the path for them.
It's
Those are the
strange place.
Multi-billion-dollar heists. You don't get caught up with these
strange
petty
place
nonsense.
where you're going. It's a different place.
Don't get caught up with the petty nonsense. You know, the marijuana under your bed. Don't get caught up. You know, you're selling drugs in religious items. Don't get caught up in those things.
Interesting. You know, as we talk about how the country is changing, I read a report yesterday of the case that Christopher Jones is involved in. That was heard before the High Court yesterday. And it is said that Judge Navindra Prasad, I think I was reading the Village Voice publication of it, refused to meet Selwyn Peters, international lawyer Selwyn Peters, who flew in for the case. Right? Refused. Royce Dale Ford at some point was introducing Selwyn to the court because it was his first time before the court or before the judge. Was introducing Selwyn as an attorney to the judge, and the judge, it's alleged, remarked, "I don't wish to meet him because of some prior incident that they had." And I'm thinking, look the furore with Norton, who didn't want to shake hands with Irfan.
So the judge is going to be asked to recuse herself from the case or something.
But that was what Selwyn ended up asking. Attorney at law
if you have some
Peters. Yeah, because of his
bias
hostility, according to what was reported in the paper. But I'm just showing, right, where we are and where we're going. When in the as common courtesy to the court, you have a new lawyer, right? And his colleague, who is familiar to the court and the judge, is introducing him, and the judge says, I don't want to meet him.
So the DPP is sending a letter asking that that judge recuse themselves from trial since there's a clear
I'm just here sipping my tea.
bias. Max, these are the real questions because it wasn't it Priya Manichan that says we need to have these conversations.
Well, the judge didn't entertain the application. I'm just saying this scenario, the furor of no, wasn't. I don't know if they were close enough to be shaking hands, right? But attorneys being introduced to a lawyer, a judge who's hearing the matter, they say, I don't want to. I don't care to meet him.
So what type of judgment could you assume is coming out from that?
Right, my lord.
So the DPP's letters coming today.
My lord, I don't care to meet him. I found that very, very interesting. We can talk some more about that. But folks, we want to turn our attention to the big issue because this here got tip. The big issue, we're looking at what's happening at this COI. We don't turn our attention to it nearly enough. This COI, the presidential COI, the installed presidential COI, a hoax. A man was before the commission yesterday and he was calling a particular issue a hoax. That's what he said. This is Chief Security at GCOM. Did you had a chance to look at this? I know you had a busy day yesterday.
I didn't listen to that.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy you didn't listen. Because I want to get your reaction in real time.
Oh Lord, come on.
He said this bomb threat at Ashman's building was a hoax during the protracted electoral period. He was chief security, right? I am afraid for this country. I'm afraid for this country. He said it was a hoax. The chief security, Ronald Stewart, he's on duty right now. He said he was a hoax, right? I want to take you back to something. Thanks, guys. He said it was a hoax, Ronald Stewart. During the questioning of Schumann recently, Schumann was veering off into opinions of other people.
Yeah.
Now, what the prosecutor was trying to tell him when she pulled him back, right, is that you cannot be in the minds of other people to know their motive. You can speak to your own motive.
Yeah.
You can speak to what you thought, but you cannot speak to what other people may have been thinking, even though they were there, because you are not in their heads. You don't know, right? I want to give us that. Let's start on that Schumann bit. It'll give us better context in which to view what the gentleman said yesterday.
He called the bomb threat.
A hoax.
No, but he called it in. He was called it in.
No, he didn't call it in, but you'll get familiar with the whole issue. Schumann, 2 days ago, I think it was.
After there was a suspicion that she is being held captive, I personally, and I will say this, I personally feared that some harm may have come or may come to the chair of GCOM.
So what did you do?
Can I expound on my reasons why the fear overcame me?
No, I don't think that's necessary. That's personal to you.
After there was a suspicion that she is being held captive, I personally, and I will say this, I personally feared that some harm may have come or may come to the chair of GCOM.
So what did you do?
Can I expound on my reasons why the fear overcame me?
No, I don't think that's necessary. That's personal to you.
That's personal to you. In that situation, a lot of other persons there might not have felt the same way. So you can say why and use that to generalize. This is why people were fearful that she was being held. That's personal to you. It's important because now here is the chief security for GCOM. Right? Chief security for GCOM. And listen to the exchange between Ronald Stewart and the chairman of the COI when he ventures into what he think was happening. Here was the exchange. And I say that to say this as we talk about misinformation. We talked about what Sonny Parak said. And then now a lot of the PP folks jumping on this bandwagon. Vince Roy Jordan blocked her. Right? That's the allegation they're peddling. But they're peddling that as truth. I even saw a lot of papers this morning stating that, for instance, Chronicle again, bomb threat at Ashman's building was a hoax. They have stated that definitively. But this is the headline from Chronicle. Say with us, folks. Bomb threat at Ashman's building, a hoax. Starbuck News was a little more middle of the road, even though they quoted the same thing in the article. Starbuck News headline was, GCOM security officer says he defied instructions from Myers to clear Ashman's building, then resigned. And in the article, they point towards the fact he said it was a hoax. Understand? But I don't think any one of them captured the exchange between him and the chairman. You know why? It don't serve the purpose. Listen to the exchange between the then, even though he had resigned, and the current chief of security of GCOM, Ronald Stewart.
Did you, the Mr. Thomas that you're speaking about?
Yes.
Did you know this person to be a very senior police officer?
Yes, of course. You're assistant.
All right, so that's the second one that we're going to play for you, but I want us to take you from the first one. Let's take it again.
And
Mr. Stewart,
yes,
you held the position of Chief Security Officer.
say again.
You held the position of Chief Security
Yes.
Officer. Now, the Deputy Chief Elections Officer,
Yes.
in the scheme of things, would be a senior to you. You would normally take instructions from her.
Yes.
Now, you said that she came back and she told you that you needed to get the people out of the room.
Yes.
You told us that you refused.
Yes.
Why did you refuse to carry out that instruction?
Because two things. I know that Mr. Thomas was earlier in the room to get them to come out, and they refused.
Okay.
That's one. Two, they were invited by GCOM's hierarchy, and if GCOM's hierarchy wanted them out, they should go and tell them to leave and not try to set me up.
But
Did you?
But the information that was conveyed to you was a serious bit of information. A bomb was planted in the building.
Yes.
And you're saying it was the responsibility of GCOM to get them out?
Yes. But you see, everybody knew that it's a hoax.
Well, I don't know. You see, no. You might know it's a hoax. I don't know that. We don't know that it's a hoax. So when you say everybody know it's a hoax,
And you see, Chronicle run with that. Right? Bomb threat was a hoax. Listen to what the chairman said. No. You might think it's a hoax.
Yeah.
But you got an order from a superior who you said you should be carrying out her instructions. Right? There's a bomb in the building, clear the building. And you took it upon yourself to defy those orders. Right? Because you said they invite the people that they want to come and move them, they got to come and move them. And everybody knew it was a hoax. And listen to the chairman. You see, when you step outside of this country borders, there's actually a rational world out there, you know.
No, I have to. I'm not even stepping out. You know, let me tell you, because two things when it comes to bomb scare and stuff like that. When I was at Queen's College, you know, lower 6, I remember 2 particular weeks, right? Every single day, the entire school had to evacuate, and everybody were on the playing field, the field right behind there. You would, a person who know the setup, and you had to be there for hours in the blistering sun until the bomb squad finished sweeping the entire school every single day for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Before they figured out who was calling in this bomb threat to the school all the time. Because regardless of whether it was done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, when it was calling on Friday, you still had to treat it as a serious threat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is Queen's College, right? This is my lower 6 days until they finally realized that it was one of the guys in the, I think it was fifth former or something that was actually doing it and whatever.
Yeah.
I was in Canada recently, and whilst having a meeting at the audit office there in Ontario, the fire alarm went off. The woman said, the auditor general there, she said that it could very well be that someone just pulled it maliciously. She said, because that happens from time to time. She said, however, whenever that is done, all elevators stops working. This is emergency protocols in order.
Yeah. This guy admits that he was employed. Myers was his superior, but he taken no instructions from she. Listen back to the exchange again in case it went by too fast. The chief security officer, GCOM, at the time. Listen back to his engagement with the chairman of the COI yesterday.
And
Mr. Stewart,
yes,
you held the position of chief security officer.
say again.
You held the position of chief security officer. Now, the deputy chief elections officer,
yes,
in the scheme of things, would be a senior to you. You would normally take instructions from her.
yes,
Now, you said that she told you, she came back and she told you that you needed to get the people out of the room.
yes,
You told us that you refused.
yes.
Why did you refuse to carry out that instruction?
Because two things. I know that Mr. Thomas was earlier in the room to get them to come out, and they refused.
Okay.
That's one. Two, they were invited by GCOM's hierarchy, and if GCOM's hierarchy wanted them out, they should go and tell them to leave and not try to set me up.
But did you? But the information that was conveyed to you was a serious bit of information. A bomb was planted in the building.
Yes,
And you're saying it was the responsibility of GCOM to get them out?
yes. But you see, everybody knew that it's a hoax.
Well, I don't know. See, no. You might know it's a hoax. I don't know that. We don't know that it's a hoax. So when you say everybody know it's a hoax,
You know, in the very same way, I could say everybody know where Carl Singh there on this commission. Everybody know which side Carl Singh on. Like I said, the very same thing. Everybody knows that.
But there's some key questions I think need to be answered. And the first thing I want to say is that, to the best of my recollection, there was never, because of exactly what he said there, and I hear a whole lot of arrogance in the way in which he's responded and all of that. But there is one thing that he said, like he refused, as chief security person there, he refused to carry that instruction. So when that is said, it made me remember that I can't remember at any point in time that the building was swept, like there was a sweep of the building by a bomb squad looking for bombs. I can't recall that. So to say that it was a hoax, who cleared the building to say that there wasn't a bomb there, or if there was a bomb there? And more importantly, I think, like, what is I don't know. I know usually they ask the individuals, like, what are they doing now? Like, what is his job now?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, according to reports, he walked off the job that same day, saying that he knew he would have been fired, because of his attitude.
So he knew this too.
He knew he was
a
been
whole-
fired,
He would have been fired.
send in his resignation the following day, and went and got back his work May of this year. Somebody was holding the post, person died, and he applied
So
back.
he's a security officer now.
He is the chief security officer.
Right now.
Right now,
At
Chika.
GCOM. That's
Yeah.
not place for him to be. He's insubordinate.
Right. But hold on, there's
He's
more.
arrogant.
Oh, you think that was it?
No,
There's
you
more.
can't. No.
There's
Listen,
more.
You can't.
Guys, could you X the load chart for
Folks
the
at
other one?
GCOM have to be fearful for their own safety
Yeah.
if that is the response of your chief
Yeah.
security officer.
Yeah, there's more. Believe it or not, there is more. So as far as I'm concerned, here you have Kyle Singh trying to redeem him because he clearly is hearing the thinking of his colleagues,
Yeah.
right? Kyle Singh is going to try to redeem him, and they end up sinking him even more because he said earlier in this examination that he was sitting outside at a table, and people were in the tabulation room. He was outside with another officer at a table, about 10 feet from the table. He said he was from the tabulation room. He was outside of the room. That's what he said, right? Listen to what he says next, and then listen to what the other commissioner, not Kyle Singh, the other gentleman who is there, listen to the question the other gentleman asked him, and that will give an indication how they're thinking. We heard how the chairman is thinking. He said, no, don't worry this. You think it's a hoax. You think it's a hoax, but you can't say everybody thinks it's a hoax, right? So here's that other bit of exchange.
Commissioner.
And you said he tried to get people out and everybody
They
ignored
said
him.
plain. They said plain, they're not moving, let the bomb blow and kill them. We want to see what Mr. Mingo is doing.
I see.
Just one question. You were outside the tabulation room.
Yes.
Was the door open or closed?
No, close.
Aldo.
The door was closed, but he heard everything.
What he said there is that was happening in the tabulation room. People refused to move when Stuart, a senior policeman, went in and advised them. According to him, went in and advised people to leave the room, and they refused. Right? And he was outside. The door was closed, but he heard people saying, "They're leaving. Let the bomb blow up." That's what he said.
Wow.
Right? He was outside the room, but he knew what was happening in there. That's what the fella's getting at.
No, but he
Right?
has
You were
to-
outside, and the door was closed,
But then he has to say how he was getting this information.
right? And the door was closed, and he walked off the job that day. Chief of security,
Walk off the job.
right? And the electoral process is happening. You understand why the GCOM Hatfield sheet was overrun by people? If the chief of security walk off, abandon his job, and you could go and get back to work
As chief security,
as chief security.
he should not be there.
Right?
That should be a problem.
And here is that exchange again with Kyle Singh first as commissioner, basically saying, well, if the basically really setting it up to say, if the highest policeman, a senior policeman couldn't get him out of the room, then we excuse you because you won't be able to get him out, even as chief security of GCOM. That's what this is really setting it up.
Yeah.
Right? But here all this thing that happened inside. All this stuff, refuse orders, but the door they closed, and he went outside.
Why is it obvious that the strategic questions are not coming from Carl Singh?
Yeah. Because, it's obvious, like the man said. Everybody know. Everybody know what happened in there. Everybody know. Guys, run down the second one for us again. Might have gone by too fast.
The Mr. Thomas that you're speaking about,
Yes.
did you know this person to be a very senior police officer?
Yes, of course. You're assistant commissioner.
And you said he tried to get people out and everybody
They
ignored
said
him.
plain.
They
They
said
said
plain?
plain, they're not moving, let the bomb blow and kill them. We want to see what Mr. Mingo is doing.
I see.
Just one question. You were outside the tabulation room.
Yes.
Was the door open or closed?
No, close.
Yeah. Rita, he's chief of security.
He should not be chief of security.
Chief of security.
Right now.
Man walked off the job.
He should not be chief.
Sent his resignation letter in the middle of probably one of the most important elections we'll ever have in the country. Walked off the job.
When you see,
go back and get him
when you see, I talk about the amount of loopholes and
Yeah.
things needs to be tightened up, and people don't get what I'm saying. You see, what happened at Ashman's building should never be allowed to happen again. That
alone needs to see why.
That mob that went through there, that should never happen ever.
Yeah.
And the person that should be at the helm of those questioning as to why was the chair's door kicked down and all of those things is the security personnel. Like, how did you allow those things to happen? You know?
Yeah.
And there he is sitting.
Locks were removed. That's what the guy said yesterday.
not Ken,
Locks were
it's
removed.
Ken.
Do we have that, folks? Locks were removed and so on. And because they have a chief security like him.
We have to get to a point. That should never happen again. That should never ever happen.
He's not
again.
following orders from the chain of command, clearly. Right? Somebody else giving the orders, or he on a frolic of his
And
own.
allow me to remind all of you, because I had to yesterday, and I remind you again, there wasn't a single APNU AFC agent kicking on nobody's door, and nobody was kicking on any door going to reach APNU AFC persons either.
Yeah.
Everything that they try to do and paint a picture of the APNU AFC, there isn't a
Locks
single
were removed.
APNU AFC agent kicking the door down or on the inside of the door.
Correct. And we heard two young men quite recently, Josh Kanai, who himself was on the stand in the witness box, and we had also Kian Jabor, who were allegedly party agents who were at GCOM. You know, when all the tumult around January 6th happening, and recounting what transpired.
There wasn't any separation between party agents and observers and all those things. And what we did know, and listen to me, when it comes to the observer missions, those things should be made public. I think that's the direction we should go in, that these are the observers just posting publicly, because what I noted is that the PUP representatives came in through those observer badges, you know, all of those. So
because of having such a security chief at GCOM, listen to what happened at GCOM. Folks who were there, agents, listen to it.
Tell me exactly what happened the night that you got into that room with Miss Claudette Singh. Just tell us. Here you go. He'll give you guys an update of all that drama that occurred that everybody was all up in arms about.
It's a very famous story, and we got it out there. Basically, what happened that night is that got pushed in, went in the door, and pushed in the other door. It was a room within a room. Pushed in that door, and I saw Miss Claudette Singh there. She had about 15 to 25 persons in there with her. Some in plain clothes and some in their police uniform. And she was standing at the back. She was looking very frail. She was looking very weak. The room was very, very hot.
Yeah.
I could tell because that room was packed. So she was just there with all these people. I don't know why.
So you got into the first door, and then you were going into the second door. And when you got into the second door, which was unlocked.
It was unlocked.
So you just opened the second door. She was just standing in there in a small room with 15 police.
Well, some 15 to 25 persons. Some plain clothes, and some with their police uniform.
Okay, and when you got into the room and you saw her just standing there in a hot room, what happened?
Dude, she looked like she was gonna pass out, right?
Like out of fear, or like why was she gonna pass out?
She was just looking very frail. The night before, I could tell as well. She came down. She was looking sick.
This is the second. Sorry, guys. Just so you know, what he's talking about right now is the second night. Before we went into the room, before all the ruckus happened.
Right. She came down.
She came down. Yeah.
And she was looking sick at that point in time as well. But let's not push anything or call anything on her. But that night she was looking very flustered, I should say, frustrated, flustered. You could see it on her face. It was just down.
And then, all right. And then you ended up getting locked into the same room, or what happened?
No, I was not in that room. That room had.
So they got you out of that
the police
room.
Just out of that room.
So you never actually spoke to her.
Didn't get to speak to her. But one of the guys from one of the observer mission, they came in, rushed in. He had his phone on video. He got a video with her speaking some stuff. By that time, everything was going haywire.
Yeah.
Right, because they were really, really astonished that we came into that room. Or we even got there. So by the time the AmCham guy came, he got the video there.
Yeah.
Everyone was just busy talking and trying to ramble. That's when we all got thrown out.
Yeah.
Right. So at that point in time, we were just like, oh shit.
So what were you arrested for?
Well, on certain bases like obstruction of justice and damage to property. Property was already damaged, I should say,
Yeah.
because locks were removed.
But
the entire lock system was removed, I should say.
and it was all cleared after that. Like you guys had no problem. I mean, you got out that night,
Yeah, we got out that night.
and nothing has come of it since.
Nothing followed up since.
Nothing followed up since. Nobody has come and spoken to you about it. No police. No, you don't have to appear in court or anything.
No.
Yeah. Yep. In their own words, and that fellow was the security chief. Stopped following orders and was in a frolic of his own.
You know, one of the things I have to say that I'm happy about, because when it comes to the security, the chief of security there, you know, a lot of attention was not put in that direction as to the chaos that happened there, and where this individual was, this post holder, you know, was this individual's role. But now with this COI, it is very clear and plain as to why that chaos unfolded. It's because he abandoned his post, what he was being paid to do.
Correct.
And I cannot help but imagine the fact that you were saying that he's back again in that same post, and that we
walked off the job, resigned.
And that we are prepping for other elections, because it clearly shows that he does not respect authority, and he doesn't take instructions from authority. He clearly shows that when things get heated, he is going to just
do what he want to do.
Throw down his bat, kick down the wicket, and walk off the pitch. Understand? So there's absolutely no confidence that anyone should have in him to ever preside over any matters of security, particularly in matters of GCOM, because he just abandoned ship in the most critical time.
Yeah. And you talk about the chaos that unfolded at GCOM. Some of that, folks, some of that chaos.
This is footage of PPP storm in GCOM, putting the lives of police officers and government officials in danger. Guyana reporters of the opinion that if this act was done by the APNU, they would have been labeled as thugs, criminals, the N-word. But because this dangerous riot was done by the PPP, they call it democracy fighters. But the Guyana reporter must point out that there's nothing democratic about storming a government building, putting the lives of police officers and government officials in danger. This riot happened on March 7th, but what's equally as troubling is that some members of the international community were present. The footage began with members violently pushing their way past officers.
This is unacceptable.
Yep. The chief of security said that he was instructed to clear the room, and he told his superiors, "Y'all invite them.
Y'all clear it
yourself." And he still got to work.
And we're heading to another election. Is that why he has his job?
That's why.
Is that why he has his job?
This is what people mean when they say, this is Guyana.
Hmm.
This is Guyana.
In no other
That's
country
much right.
would he be able to hold that job.
That's my case.
In no other country would he be able to hold a job. I think it's one of the most serious matters that is coming out of the information coming out from the COI, that you can have an individual that basically abandoned posts and allowed chaos and allowed all of that to disintegrate.
Off the job.
Yep.
Didn't complain to anybody. Walked off the job. Resigned the following day.
And then they're back there. Guys, when I tell you, like I don't know how clearer we can make it when I say that going to an election is one thing, but actually having systems in place to make sure that your vote is counted, it's a different scenario altogether. This is what we're talking about, because it would appear to me that the structures are being put in place to go into another election.
He wasn't following the hierarchy of GCOM. He was following somebody's orders. He wasn't acting on his own. I can tell you that.
No, but he was definitely
Somebody's
not following orders from his superiors.
That's what I'm telling you.
When it comes to the job that
That's
he's
what I'm
being
telling
paid to
you.
do.
Somebody was instructing. It wasn't GCOM. Because clearly he wasn't taking GCOM's orders.
And this
Clearly.
is not him saying that. This is not APNO AFC people saying that they're not moving. This is not APNO AFC persons holding anybody suspected to holding somebody at ransom. The people that they're saying that they're suspected that the lady was on whatever, she was being held against her will, or whatever they're trying to say about it. The individuals that were in the room with her, they're saying that, oh, they were police officers. They're saying that the police officers were holding this woman against her. Well, then the PPP agents and those persons now was kicking down the door to go in the room. And then they want to come back and say, APNO AFC attempted to.
And you could work in that environment. You were supposed to work in that environment. Yeah. Folks, I rest my case.
More information coming out than I expected, actually.
12 o'clock, we'll see you guys back there for the podcast, and then we'll be back at 8. Folks, share the live, valid, credible information.
He needs to be removed.
Valid, credible information. Smash that emoji button for us as well. Smash that emoji button for us. Hundreds of you still watching. Smash that button. Partner with us too, so we can do more programs like this. You all know we're available via Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram, Western Union. You have any queries? 627-6963 is the number you want to call. Each donation, folks, goes towards keeping our programs going, keeping us out here, folks. Thank you for your support, your love, and your generosity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
That's going to do it for us.